Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here for the very first time, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. My name's Hannah, and on this channel I post a lot of anti-MLM commentary videos. I have a big playlist with every single video I've created on that topic. I can link it right here for you. At this time, we're almost to 180 videos on there, and I've been told that it's very, very bingeable. For today, I'm bringing you another MLM Top Fails video. This is a compilation style video with different Instagram posts, live streams, TikTok videos, photos, pretty much anything you can find on social media that is posted by somebody in an MLM or has something to do with the MLM industry. Those things are sent to me by viewers. I pick out a few for a video. I showcase them here, we react to them together, and I break them down. But really quickly before we get into the video, I just wanted to mention that in my last video, the one that I posted last week, I think it was Horror Stories 70, I believe. At the very beginning of the video, I asked people, if you watch my videos regularly, if you're here every week, if you love this content, just double check that you're subscribed, because for some reason YouTube has been unsubscribing people for the life of me. I don't know why this is. Some of the theories are that YouTube will go through and unsubscribe bot accounts from you, like fake subscribers basically, and that's cool. That makes sense. I'm down with that. But you would not believe the number of comments I got on that video saying, hey, thanks for the reminder. I double checked and I wasn't subscribed, and I know that I was at one point. So it is a real thing. I don't know why it's happening, but I am an analytic lover, and I'm gonna show you something. I want to show you this graph, okay? This is a line graph of my subscriber count for the last 365 days. This peak way over here is showing that I got 517 subscribers in a single day after I mentioned in that video, hey, double check for me if you could. You may notice that I have not had that many subscribers in a single day since July of 2022, last July, nearly a year ago. So my point in bringing all of this up is because I thought those analytics, first of all, were very interesting, but second of all, thank you. Seriously, your support means the world to me. I really appreciate you checking to see if you were subscribed. And thanks to you, I am inching closer and closer to that 100,000 subscriber goal that I have for myself for this year. This could not be my job without you. I appreciate you so much more than you know. Thank you so much. You're the best. And I just wanted to share those analytics with you because I thought that was super awesome to see. But enough of all that. Let's jump into the video today. First up, we're starting strong, okay? This is an Amari rep doing a short Facebook live stream, and her purpose is to explain more about the company's Happy Juice products.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm tuning in today. I'm saying good morning because it's only 7:40 here. I'm actually in Hawaii. I'm in Maui, and there's a 6-hour difference. So I'm saying good morning. But I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys quickly. I was just sitting here making my Happy Juice, and this is a staple product that I literally take everywhere with me, no matter where I am. So yes, even being in Hawaii, I am making my Happy Juice, and I want to talk to you a little bit about why I'm making it and what it is. You guys see me in my stories all of the time, showing it, drinking it, giving it to people, but I don't really take the time to break it down. And my inbox has been filled with people saying, what is this drink that you're drinking? So I thought I would come on here and share it with you guys and really talk about it. Because one of the things that I learned over the last 4 years, in July, it will be 4 years that I am partnered with the first and only mental wellness company that takes a holistic approach.
That's right. Amari calls themselves the Mental Wellness Company. This is a trademarked name, and not once in this video does she mention the actual name of the company, Amari. She only refers to it as the Mental Wellness Company because it's very catchy. This company sells supplements, and a huge part of their marketing is that taking their products can improve your mental health in some way. Obviously, for legal reasons, they can't outwardly claim that taking their products can treat or cure any kind of mental health condition, but they absolutely dance around that exact assumption in their marketing. For example, they have products called Happy Juice, right? Drink this every day and it'll make you happy. Take this product and it will improve your mental health. That is the implication. It's pretty gross how far the reps will take this claim. In fact, I have a video that I did recently about an Amari rep who has an entire TikTok account dedicated to spreading the misinformation that taking Amari products products has helped to treat her 10-year-old daughter's ADHD. It's wacky. It's a problem. But the implication across the board is that Amari is the place to go for people who want a holistic approach to their mental health, whether that be depression, anxiety, ADHD, you name it. So gross.
You know, back a couple years ago when the pandemic hit, before that, nobody was really talking about their mental health. And it was really around that time that I noticed that people started to talk about their mental health because they were stressed out. They were going to their doctor and they were saying things like, I'm stuck, I'm anxious, I'm sad, right? I'm depressed. They were saying all of these words, and the only thing that the doctor could offer them at that moment is a pharmaceutical drug. And so around that time was pretty much when I tripled with the amount of people that I was helping, literally overnight, because people were looking. I see my husband peeking through. He's like, I didn't know you were going to go live. I didn't know I was going to go live either. It was just on my heart this morning, and I was like, I'm going to go live. I haven't been live in a while here on Facebook. I'm all over other platforms, and I don't really go live here very much. Hey, Danny, how are you? But anyways, I lost my train of thought. Mental health, I knew was going to be huge before even the pandemic hit. I knew it was going to be huge. The only thing that the pandemic showed us is that people are now willing to talk about it, because before they were hiding it. They weren't talking about their mental health. They weren't talking about how they felt. And it finally got to the point where people couldn't hold it back anymore. And they had to come out and they had to start talking about it. And what I learned when I completely tripled overnight was that people were demanding a holistic approach for their mental health. And it wasn't a trend and it wasn't going away.
Her argument is that one of the results of the pandemic is that now people are coming to terms with their poor mental health and they're seeking non-drug solutions in a way that they never did previously, and that is why her team has, quote, tripled overnight. Yikes, we'll talk about that in a minute. I can agree that some of the effects of the pandemic have really severely impacted people's mental health. The fear of getting sick, losing loved ones, quarantining, isolating, feeling stuck, that is a recipe for worsening or developing mental health conditions, absolutely. And to a degree, I can see how that would drive people to seek non-pharmaceutical solutions. Doctors are working overtime, hospitals are at capacity. We're being told to stay home and avoid healthcare settings as much as humanly possible unless you desperately need it. That kind of makes sense, that if someone is struggling with their mental health, they might be more drawn to find a website and place an order and have it delivered right to their house without the need for a prescription. However, because there's always a however with these things, that is, in my opinion, a very small piece of this situation, a very small contributor as to why her team, quote, tripled overnight. MLM companies across the board boomed in 2020 as a result of the pandemic, no matter what they were selling. And I believe that's because the desire for work from home jobs or opportunities was exaggerated more than ever before. This was a huge cultural turning point that I don't know if we're ever going to recover from. People are experiencing extreme financial insecurity. People are being put out of work overnight. Businesses are shutting down. Kids are home from school, doing school online, and they need a parent in the home to supervise them. People are realizing that having multiple streams of income is really good in times of uncertainty. People are now spending more and more time on social media because we're not connecting in person. Therefore, they're being subject to all these posts from people in MLMs trying to convince them to join. And the list goes on and on and on. But it's an absolute perfect storm for MLMs to explode. And that is exactly what happened in 2020. But the point is, it's not just Amari, the mental wellness company, that had a big expansion in 2020. Most MLMs had a big expansion. Okay, 2020 was the MLM industry's heyday. And that's because people were generally financially insecure and generally vulnerable, and existing MLM reps exploited the absolute crap out of that. If you were already well established in your MLM company prior to the pandemic happening, you likely saw a massive spike in your recruitment volume, in your sales volume, and in your income, because you took advantage of all of those people who were desperate for the opportunity you were pitching them. To me, bragging that your team tripled overnight thanks to a global pandemic is not something to be proud of. It sounds like it worked out really nicely for you, but at what cost? How many people did you have to victimize to see the success that you saw. So maybe that mental health piece of it played a small role as to why people were joining Amari specifically, but I would argue that the socioeconomic impact of the pandemic had a lot more to do with why these MLM Huns got tons of recruits and started making a ton of money all of a sudden.
And all my life, I learned eat healthy, move your body, right? Count calories. Those were things that we were taught growing up, but nobody ever taught me anything related to my mental health. Drop it in the comments below. Did they ever teach you about your mental health? Did anybody ever talk about it? Guys, do you know that there are nerves that connect your brain to your gut, and it's called the vagus nerve? Because your body works as a complete body system. So your brain and your gut, which is called your second brain, is communicating throughout the day back and forth to each other. So, you know, if someone hands me a microphone and says, get up on stage, I'm going to get nervous. And I might just run to the bathroom, right? Because my brain is signaling down to my gut that I'm getting ready to get up in front of people and I'm extremely nervous. Or you know that phrase when you fall in love with someone and you're like, oh, I had butterflies in my stomach. You didn't have butterflies in your stomach, but your brain was telling your gut that that person was somebody that you wanted to get to know, right? So here we are in a world where people need mental health. Guys, in the next few years, in the pharmaceutical world, brain health is going to be $1 trillion industry. And people don't want pharmaceuticals. They're not looking for that. They're looking for a holistic approach, something that's non-toxic, no chemicals, gets to the root, that supports it. And so that's what my happy juice is all about. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it as I make it, because you're probably like, why does she keep holding up this Kool-Aid drink every single day in her stories? Like, what is the purpose behind it? So let me talk to you about it.
Her argument is that people don't want mental health drugs, they want supplements instead, which I can understand wanting cleaner or better for you products in some aspects of your life, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with that when it comes to medications. Because remember that medications have been rigorously tested, they've been researched, they've been put through clinical trials to ensure their effectiveness, and I'm not saying that taking medication is the solution to everything. There's obviously situations where that's going to do more harm than good, but that's something that your doctor needs to assess for you personally. If you have a health condition that you're concerned about, you need to be seeking professional help from somebody who knows what they're talking about. Maybe the recommended course of treatment will be medication, maybe not, but at least you're receiving that professional recommendation. Personally, if I was struggling with my mental health and the two options presented to me were A, take the proven and tested medication prescribed to me by my doctor, or B, take the unregulated, unproven drink powder recommended to me by somebody on social media, I think the choice is crystal clear. I know which route I'm going. And lastly, for this part, she used the term no chemicals to describe Amari products, which I always have to roll my eyes at. I cannot help myself. It's meant to fearmonger against things that are bad for you by implying that chemicals are bad, which is hilarious because chemicals are all around us and they're not inherently bad. The water we drink is a chemical. The oxygen we breathe is a chemical. The carbon dioxide we exhale is a chemical as well. Now, of course, too much of any of these chemicals is bad for us as humans, but they're also a completely natural and essential part of life. Amari products are not chemical free. That is literally a lie. You're not gonna find frickin' arsenic in these products, okay? But to say that they are chemical free is incredibly misleading, and quite frankly, it makes you sound not that bright when you say it.
Okay, so the first powder, which I already put in here, that's why it looks a little cloudy, because I was like, you know what, that's it, I'm going live, is my probiotic. Now, you guys have heard a lot about probiotics, right? It's the buzzword right now. There are trillions of bacteria in your gut that control pretty much every aspect of your health. Your mood, your 90% of your hormones are produced in there. So if you're not feeling happy, that's your serotonin, right? It could be off. Your melatonin, if you're not sleeping well, that's a hormone, that could be off. Your dopamine is for motivation, right? That could be off. So if you're not feeling well in your health, 9 times out of 10, and I might even say 10 times out of 10, it's something to do with what's going on in your gut. 80% of your immune system's in your gut. If you're sick all of the time, you have a gut issue, right? Autoimmune diseases are gut issues. So when I was even working with my own son and helping him get to the root of his 2 diagnoses back many years ago, which we've reversed, and he's on no medications to this day, we did it through targeting the gut microbiome.
Did you catch the health claim? They are so subtle, they are so sneaky. What she just did is imply that taking Amari products has the ability to treat or cure certain conditions. She did not come right out and say that explicitly, but it's heavily implied. She said that her son had 2 diagnoses that he reversed by focusing on his gut microbiome and taking care of that. And now he's not on any medications for it. That's what she said, but what she's hoping you're going to take away from that is that Amari can cure certain health conditions. That so many issues in your life can be tied back to your gut health, and that by taking Amari products, you can correct your gut health, get that in check, and therefore you will be healthy and you'll treat or cure all of these other things in your life. She's not legally allowed to say Amari cures XYZ, so she's dancing around it a little bit. And that's what's so dangerous about MLM health claims, is that the company doesn't technically allow them. They are against policy, but reps for these companies get away with them all the time because realistically nobody is checking them. There's nobody at the Amari corporate level going through all the reps' social media accounts and watching all the content they post and scanning it for health claims. It's just not going to happen. So while they're not explicitly saying it, they are sneaking in these health claims wherever they can and being very deceptive about it. And you know what? There's 3 minutes left on this video. I just watched through it and there's nothing really new there. She's just mixing together 3 different products in this water bottle, shaking it up as she continues to talk about the gut-brain connection and yada yada. You get it. So I'm not going to subject you to the next 3 minutes of this video, but here's what it all comes down to. Here's what I want to leave you with. She talked for 9 minutes all about gut health and the gut-brain connection. And even if we assume that everything she said was biologically accurate and true, the products that she's promoting are still not proven to do anything. She goes on to use the example of cortisol. This is a stress hormone, and she says that having too much of this hormone in your body can create really uncomfortable side effects. She talks for like a whole minute about cortisol, which yeah, that's true, and that's all good and dandy, except Amari products are not proven to bring your cortisol levels down. So what she's kind of doing throughout this whole video is really acting like she knows what she's talking about and using these big medical terms, but it feels like all of that is kind of distracting from the real reason that she's going live, which is to pitch you a bunch of overpriced powders from her MLM company so that she can hopefully make a commission. That is the moral of the story. That is why we are sitting here watching this live stream. That is why the live stream exists, and that is why it got posted, because she has a product that she would like to sell you. And even if she's being factual about her information about gut health, gut microbiome, cortisol, whatever, she's still providing no information to prove that these supplements actually work in the way that she's claiming. Okay. Okay, next up. I'm not even gonna preface this with anything. Just watch, okay? You'll see what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, we are at the hospital caring for my grandma, and I wanted to pop in and let y'all know of something that's been so beautiful as we've cared for her and just been a family together in her room. I want to let you know, when you are caring for people, you're visiting people, however that works, if you will take your diffuser with you, take your diffuser, take your oils, and here is how I have been sharing as the nurses come into the room. I have my business cards with me in my bag. I have the diffuser running. And what will happen is the nurse will come in and be like, oh my goodness, that smells so good. What is that? I pick up the bottle that's sitting by the diffuser. I pick it up and I say, well, this is Young Living Thieves. Have you heard of it? And they're like, maybe, or no, or I don't know. And then immediately go into, well, actually, I teach classes on this and I'd love for you to get to come. The classes are right here locally and you're welcome to come. Would you like to be on our text update list? And I can grab you one of my cards. And they're like, oh my goodness, yes. That has happened twice now. So I have them both on my text update list to begin inviting to classes. When you go, take your diffusers and your business cards with you.
Just imagine that your grandma is in the hospital and you think that going to visit her is the perfect opportunity to pitch your essential oil pyramid scheme. This is what I'm talking about when I say that being in an MLM messes you up so bad that you have lost touch with reality. And now every single person that you come in contact with, you see dollar signs on them. You see them as an opportunity. People outside MLMs really don't think that way. That is unique to this industry. Girl, your grandma is in the hospital. Nobody stays in the hospital when they're doing great and they're super healthy. So I can't imagine that things are looking too good for her right now and you think it's the prime time to go and pitch your Young Living oils. First of all, why are you working right now? Aren't you supposed to have time freedom? Aren't you supposed to be able to take this time off from working the biz to go and be with your grandma? No, because time freedom is a fallacy. It doesn't actually exist in these schemes. When you're in an MLM, you can work from anywhere, which means you are expected to work from anywhere. You never actually experience freedom because God forbid you take some time off for yourself once in a while. You're gonna be made to feel guilty that you're not hustling hard enough and that you don't want it bad enough. Secondly, stop pitching these poor nurses when they are just trying to do their job. They have a job. They're on the clock. They got places to go, people to see, patients to care for. Stop trying to trap them in a pitch every time they enter the room. It's cringy. It reeks of desperation. And a part of me wants to say, I can't believe she thinks this is okay, but you know what? I can believe it. I really can. Because I've seen this kind of behavior a million other times from MLM reps. It's like being in the business opportunity rewires your brain in such a strange way where you are always on high alert for new customers and new recruits, and you're always thinking of new and innovative ways to pitch people. Hi Cooper, how are you? We haven't seen Zeke in this video yet, but we have a Cooper. Hi buddy. You are so sweet and so quiet. If you ever hear a cat in my videos, it's Zeke. If you ever see a cat sitting calmly and sweetly, it's Cooper. Hi bud. Are you just gonna hang out right there for a little bit? Anyway, I hope that her grandma is okay and that she's gonna be fine, because personally, I can't imagine the guilt that I would have down the road if these were some of my last moments with a loved one and I spent them shilling oils. Okay, next up is kind of interesting. It's not a social media post necessarily, but I was made aware that Planet Fitness, which is a fitness club gym franchise, I know they're in the US, I know they're in Canada, I don't know if they're in any other countries, but Planet Fitness is doing a limited time promotion of the Optavia program. Optavia is an MLM that sells weight loss plans and products. The idea is that you choose an Optavia plan based on your goals, and then you purchase a whole bunch of prepackaged snack foods and powders that you can turn into shakes or soups or things like chili or mashed potatoes or mac and cheese. And the idea is that you buy these prepackaged, pre-portioned foods from Optavia and you eat them multiple times a day and they replace your meals. And then you drop a ton of weight because you're eating basically nothing and you're putting yourself in this unbelievably unsustainable caloric deficit. If you want more information about Optavia specifically, I have 2 videos I would recommend. I can link them below. The first one, I did a deep dive into the company. This is covering like their whole compensation plan, the income disclosure statement, how to join the business opportunity, that kind of thing. And the second one, in my opinion, very entertaining, is I actually try all of these different foods. Somebody had a stash of Optavia products that they weren't going to use anymore. They sent them to my P.O. box, and I put myself through the agony of taste testing these on camera for your viewing pleasure. So I'll link those below if you want to see them. But Optavia, in my opinion, super problematic, very unhealthy. But this promotion with Planet Fitness is that you can get $120 off of your first month of Optavia meals if you are a Planet Fitness member. The fine print here at the very bottom specifies that this offer is only valid for new clients of Optavia, and you must enroll in the Optavia auto ship program as well. If you click this redeem button on this offer, it takes you directly to the Optavia website. It shows you the different plans that you can choose from, and down here it prompts you to connect with a coach. If you click on this connect with a coach button, it takes you to this search engine where you can input the name of a specific Optavia rep of your choosing, or you can find reps in your geographical area. And that's because you can't become an Optavia customer. You cannot buy these products if you don't go through a rep first. In other words, there has to be an Optavia rep or a coach, as they're called, who receives credit for that sale. Somebody has to be getting a commission for this. You can't just be an independent customer of Optavia products without supporting that MLM business model and going through a rep first. And that's concerning to me because there might be Planet Fitness members out there who don't know what MLMs are, or they don't know that Optavia is an MLM. They could be getting themselves signed up for something without knowing the full scope of what it really is. They may not know that they're required to sign up for an auto ship. They might not know that they're supporting a predatory business model. They might not know that now they're subjecting themselves to this coach who may harass them to sign up for the business opportunity later down the road. That happens. People have told me before that they were interested in an MLM product. They didn't know what an MLM really was, but in order to purchase it, they had to be assigned a coach or a rep. And they're like, sure, whatever, doesn't matter to me, I just want the product. They place the order, they get the product, they think they're done with it, but now there's this random person who has their contact information, they're calling you, they're texting you, they're trying to set up appointments, they want to meet with you, they want to pitch you, they want you to join their downline. And it's not at all what people thought they were signing up for when they went to buy that product initially. So this isn't just a harmless, oh, if you're a Planet Fitness member, you get this sweet perk to save some money. No, this is a way to trap people into an MLM company. Because in my opinion, when people truly know what an MLM is and they truly understand the business model and how it operates, at that point, it's pretty unlikely that people would agree to support it. Like once you know it's a scam, you're obviously not going to want to get involved, right? So it feels like MLM companies have to resort to being a little sneaky like this to suck people in without their full understanding. Like, oh, let's partner with Planet Fitness for a while and see if we can get some of their members to buy into our programs. And you know, it's also really troubling to me that a gym would partner with something as problematic and dangerous as Optavia, especially a gym like Planet Fitness, which is literally built on this idea of having a judgment-free zone, like a whole come as you are welcome, you are respected here kind of situation. So why is Planet Fitness endorsing a starvation diet provided by a scammy MLM company? I just feel like the values of these two different companies are not aligning. Seriously, who was in charge of setting this up? Because they clearly did not do enough research to approve Optavia partnering with Planet Fitness. People don't join Optavia because they're happy with themselves or because they're looking for quality nutrition. People join Optavia because they want a simple way to restrict themselves so severely that their bodies can't help but drop weight ridiculously fast. In fact, Optavia themselves caution people against exercising while they are doing the program because you're really not going to be getting enough calories in your diet from Optavia to sustain a workout. You're going to be getting the bare minimum here. You're going to be getting like 1,000 to 1,500 calories a day, and your body needs those calories to sustain its basic functions to keep you alive. You don't have any extra calories to be burned off in exercise. You will not be getting enough nutrition on the Optavia program to be able to exercise safely. So why is Optavia offering a special perk to Planet Fitness members? I don't know, but it doesn't seem like a good match to me. And it makes me sad to think about how many Planet Fitness members might sign up for Optavia thinking that that's going to be something beneficial for their health. Because in my opinion, Optavia is actually detrimental to your health. Next up is a really short clip from a body rep. This is the new name for Beachbody. So they don't go by Beachbody anymore. It's just Body with an I. And this rep is videotaping herself driving on the highway in San Antonio. And she says, when you spot yourself on a billboard, and then it cuts to a photo of the billboard that she's talking about. And this is so bizarre. Let me give you some background information here. She's tagging San Antonio and she's seeing this billboard in Texas because that is where Body's annual summit trip is. This is a convention that the company hosts every year where body reps can pay to attend. It's basically like one big hype session. And we'll talk about that more in depth in a minute, but this billboard is so weird. Posting the full names and photos of people in your company. What legitimate company would do this? Seriously. You would never see a legit company paying for a billboard to praise specific employees by name. Could you imagine a retail store, a restaurant being like, here's Bob, our employee of the month. Congrats, Bob. No, because that is so weird. What would be the motivation to do that? What company is going to pay all this money for a billboard spot, not to advertise the company, but to praise the people in it? This is actually the first time I've seen an MLM do this. this, but here's my theory, okay? Brainwashing and love bombing. That's what it all comes down to. The motivation for an MLM company to do this is number one, to make these particular reps on the billboard feel special and celebrated. In other words, love bomb them with praise and attention so it makes them feel super warm and fuzzy inside so that they never ever leave. Because after all, the 10 people featured on this billboard, these are the top 10 coaches in Body. They have the biggest teams, therefore they make the company the most money. Of course you would want to make your cash cows feel special, wouldn't you? Because your company is going to suffer without them. If they quit, your company takes a hit for that. That's the primary purpose of this billboard, in my opinion. The secondary purpose, I feel like, is so that other body coaches will see this billboard and they'll feel inspired by it, like this is something that they want to strive to achieve. Like I said, Summit is an annual convention that is hosted this year in San Antonio, and it's basically a big hype session, right? Let's gather everybody together, let's praise the top earners, let's make a spectacle out of them in front of everyone, and hopefully everybody in attendance leaves feeling really inspired, aka brainwashed, and ready to go off and do whatever they need to do to succeed, aka recruit as many people as possible. I think the company probably paid for a billboard like this because they know that San Antonio is going to be overrun with body huns this weekend, and that lots of people in the company are going to see it and feel inspired by it in one way or another. It's essentially just an extension of all of that hype that is spewed at them all weekend in the conference sessions. And it's weird and it's not normal, but it also isn't that surprising for an MLM. Speaking of weird and bizarre things pertaining to an MLM, here's a Facebook post that was sent to me. I'm going to go through and censor a whole bunch of information from this Facebook post because the point of the post is literally to make the entire town know exactly who this person is, and I don't want to be spreading that information on this channel. I don't want everyone to know who she is for her safety, honestly, but this is a post from a police department Facebook account. It's a photo of two police officers posing with a young woman, and the caption says, West Blank Police Department was contacted by book girl blank today. They give her whole legal name. Blank is a college student from Estonia doing her summer program here to work her way through college. She wanted to let the citizens of West Blank know that she's in town doing door-to-door sales, helping families with education. Her ambition is that everybody would feel comfortable at their homes knowing that she is going around. Blank has acquired all her proper licenses to go door-to-door. She asks that if you are simply not interested in her educational system, just let her know and she will bid you a good day and move on. The car she's driving is a blank, and they give the make, model, and color of her car with Southwestern Advantage logos. Visit her Facebook page for more information, and then they link her Facebook page to it. What on earth is going on here? It appears to me that this is a Southwestern Advantage rep who is asking for a post to be made about her on the local police department's page to let the community know that she's going to be prowling the streets and coming door to door to sell you books. Does this feel unusual to anybody else? Because I've never seen something like this before. But the strange Facebook post aside, my heart hurts for this young woman who has come to the United States in search of summer work, and this is what she gets stuck doing. Who knows how she heard about Southwestern Advantage or who preyed on her, but I'm disgusted. Southwestern Advantage is so gross, you guys. If you haven't heard some of the stories told by Southwestern Advantage reps in my MLM horror stories videos, you need to go and listen to those because they are almost unbelievable. Basically, this is a summer door-to-door book sales program, and honestly, I'm not even 100% sure if it does fall under the category of MLMs, but it's still a sketchy scam, so we're going to put them on blast anyway. It's purely commissions-based. They target primarily college kids. They intentionally send these kids incredibly far away from their hometowns, and they're basically told to figure it out. They're not given housing, they're not given a car, they're not given food. All of that is up to them to figure out. So for example, if you live in California and you sign up for Southwestern Advantage, they could send you to Tennessee if they wanted to, and unless you're going to drive your car all the way across the country to have it with you for the summer, you're not going to have any transportation. They're also not providing you any housing, so what are you going to do? Stay in a hotel, maybe an Airbnb, maybe you find a short-term lease on an apartment or something, but it has been reported to me that sometimes to try and cut down on the cost of housing, Southwestern Advantage reps will actually ask the people that they are going door to door selling books to, they'll say, hey, I don't have anywhere to live this summer, will you be my host family? It's It's just so dangerous. But that's one of the ways that they try and cut down on those costs, because ultimately that's going to cut into your overall earnings for the summer. You're only making commission if you sell these books, but if you're spending all this money for housing and transportation and food while you're doing it, then what's the point? They're expected to work sun up to sun down 6 days a week, and on the 7th day they do training seminars and things like that. They're discouraged from using their cell phones. They're discouraged from talking to loved ones because it might be distracting to them. These are young college kids out in the summer heat, super far away from home, subjecting themselves to whatever is behind each of those doors that they go knocking on. I've gotten horror stories of people saying that they were harassed, that they had a gun pulled on them, that they had to beg people to use their bathrooms, and when people said no, they had to go to the bathroom on the side of the road. It's so unbelievably messed up. The working conditions are terrible. Southwestern Advantage is so sketchy, and I'm just looking at this Facebook post and I don't know what the purpose is, because to me this feels like it could seriously jeopardize her safety. They're literally posting a picture of her with her full name, telling you exactly what her car looks like, linking you to her Facebook page, and letting everybody know that she's a foreigner here, super far away from home and everybody who cares about her, and that you should be expecting her to show up on your doorstep at some point. We have heard some horrendous things that have happened to Southwestern Advantage reps when they go knocking door to door and the person behind that door is not expecting them. I am terrified of the possibilities of if this post gets in the wrong person's hands and they know to be expecting her and they have the opportunity to plan and premeditate something. Maybe I consume too much true crime content. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but this is really alarming to me. I can't really see how a post like this is in her best interest. It seems like maybe she requested that this be posted, but if I was the police department, I would say, heck no, sister. That's not safe. We're not going to be telling the whole community who you are, that you're young, that you're alone in a country that's not your own, and that you're going to be going door to door. Like who thought this was a good idea? I guess maybe that this could send the statement of like, the police know who she is and they're going to notice if she turns up missing or harmed or something. But my goodness, this is so beyond odd to me. I'm hopeful that she returns to Estonia at the end of the summer safely, and that she also realizes that Southwestern Advantage is a total scam. Maybe the product they're selling is legitimate, but once you consider the horrendous working conditions and the fact that people hardly make any commissions at all when everything is said and done, they are working themselves to the bone all summer for basically nothing. I am so sad to see that somebody pitched this as an opportunity for her to go to a different country for the summer to make some money. And I'm also really alarmed that the police department decided that this was an appropriate Facebook post to be making. Let me know what you think about this whole thing down below, because I'm truly puzzled by it. And with that, my friends, that's everything I have for you for this MLM Top Fails video. There were some doozies in here. I feel like this is a really good one. And now is my perfect opportunity to say thank you to those of you who sent me the stuff for this video. And as a reminder to you, if you come across stuff on social media that you would like to have considered for a Top Fails video, please go ahead and send it my way. I would love to take a look at it, and the description box includes instructions for how to send it to me on Google Drive. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.